Welcome back to our 2007 Four Winds v358. And a couple weeks ago I did the tour of the inside of the boat and of the outside, and as I promised in that video, I would do the engine bay. Now, so welcome to the engine bay. I got my daughter holding the camera for me because she thought it was funny. Anybody that knows me, I'm 6'4", and look at the room inside this engine bay. Isn't this amazing? Get two Volvo Penta 5.7 GXIs down here. There's a generator, a couple fuel tanks, all kinds of stuff. I'll walk you through all the equipment. But yeah, I can climb right down in here, and I got room to stand. And well, truthfully, if I ever got in trouble, I could probably find a place to sleep down here. So apologize for the voiceover. There was some background noise at the marina the day I shot this, and it really polluted the audio chain. So down here in the engine bay, like I said, pair of Volvo Penta 5.7 GXI engines. They're 320 horse each, so 640 horse pushes this 15,000 pound boat along quite nicely. They are raw water cooled, as we're up in the Great Lakes, and we don't need to worry about the saltwater issues. Across the back there, we got a 4-inch PVC pipe. That's for the engine bay blowers. Back corner, we got a 6 US gallon hot water tank. That tank is heated off the starboard engine when it's running, or through a 120 volt electric element. Just ahead of the hot water tank, we've got our vacuum flush system for the head. And ahead of that, we've got one of our two 125 US gallon fuel tanks, about 400 liters. And mounted to the side of that orange cartridge there, that is the charcoal filter for the waste tank vent. Now, just a mental note to remember, if for some reason you ever get your waste tank too full, it can back up through that hose and into that vent. And once that happens, just take that cartridge off, throw it right in the garbage. You can open them up and replace the charcoal in them. You'll never get the smell out of the plastic. So just ahead of the starboard engine there on the bulkhead, we've got the digital throttle and shift control computers. Now, this is a third-party system that Four Winds put on the boat. It's not the Volvo Penta vessel control system, so that's why there are the actuators there. So down there on the bottom of the hull, that is the depth sounder transducer. It also measures the water temperature too. Now in the center here on the back of the bulkhead, we've got some fuel control valves. Normally you run this with each engine drawing off its own independent tank. Now there's a cross flow option. If you think you got some contaminated fuel or something in one tank, you can close one tank off and run both engines off the other. Down in the middle of the boat down there, that is our raw water washdown. Looking at that, I believe that was an add-on after build, just the way some of the wiring and the hoses run. It's not quite as neat as everything else. Now, I apologize for the grime down there in the bottom of the bilge. A few weeks before I shot this video, we were off on vacation and had a coolant line break. It wasn't a big break, wasn't any worry about sinking the boat. The bilge pump was just running every 30-40 seconds to empty it. But of course, being raw water cooled, we got some grime down there that needs to be cleaned up. So that's a 10-pound Fireboy automated fire extinguisher system for the engine bay. And the boat's got a really nice set of engine bay lights with a plastic guard over the lens in case you knock them with a tool or something, you don't break them. On the far side, got a pair of Group 31 AGM batteries. That's our house bank. Gives us about 2.5 kilowatts of power at 12 volts. Keeps the boat running, no issues whatsoever. About 13-14 hours off the shore. We do have 450 watts of solar that will run the boat and top those batteries back up in a couple hours when the sun is out. Over here, that's the digital throttle and shift servos for the port engine. And that's our Victron controller back there for the solar system. Now up there on the negative line of the house battery bank, that is the Victron shunt. That allows us to see the battery capacity and the load on the batteries in the Victron app. Very handy to have. Not a necessary thing if you're doing the Victron solar system, but it's one of those nice little bonus features that makes things a lot nicer to watch what's going on with your house electrical. So here's our port side fuel tank. Same thing, 125 US gallons, 400 liters. And the really nice thing, I don't know if this Four Winds did this or was that somebody who left that behind when they put the solar system in, but that's some pull wires because that's the little raceway up in behind the electrical panel on the boat, and there's no other access to get up there midway. So somebody has done some work and left some pull lines behind for adding some extras. Probably, like I said, we're done with the solar, so whoever did that, thank you very much. That'll be handy if I ever need to run anything else up there. So I'm not sure what that little box does. The manufacturer information on it is the same as the digital throttle and shift, so I'm sure it's got something to do with ignition lockout based on the size of the power cables coming into the top.
and another pair of AGM batteries over there. That's our start bank and start for the generator as well, and the bow thruster. So those batteries, they do nothing but start the engines, start the generator, and run the bow thruster. Even the engine bay blower and everything is run off the house bank. And back in the corner, that's the 40 amp factory original battery charger. Maybe at some point in time, if we do a lot more cruising and off the dock anchorages and stuff, I may upgrade that to like a Victron inverter charger, so I can get some 120 volts off the house bank to run some things inside the cabin if we ever need to. Our 5.7 kilowatt Kohler generator. Now there's a lot of hours on the generator. It's got over 500 hours on it, so the previous owners have really enjoyed being off the dock and on the hook. It's probably one of the reasons why they put the solar on it as well and upgraded to the AGM batteries so they could be less reliant on the generator. Working our way back over to the port engine. Again, another Volvo Penta. Of course, the engines are identical. Dual prop on this boat, so no torque steer to worry about. In the middle back there, that is the reservoir for the trim tabs. And up the center, we got a nice electric actuator to open the engine bay. So that was the, about a quick 5-minute tour through the engine bay. Almost time to pull it out for the winter here. Next week, I'll be heading down into the Thousand Islands towards Kingston, where it's going for winter storage. Got a nice indoor place down at a marina that's pretty decent. I've dealt with them before, so that'll be nice to have it indoors. I kind of miss having the boat in the backyard. And I'll put a picture up here. Our Monterey 302 we had before this one. We had a nice 18,000 pound trailer, so I could park that right in the backyard without any issues. This boat would fit on that trailer, but unfortunately the gentleman who wanted the boat, he made the trailer part of the deal, so I had to let the trailer go. But maybe I'll look at getting another one in the spring, because it's really nice to have the boat in the backyard. But yeah, that's about it. Next week when we get going, maybe I'll do a video walking through of all my pre-start checks of what I do before we get underway. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, thanks for watching.